Guys, hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about, do we absorb other people's energy, or do we absorb energy in general? So a quick disclaimer for this video. Again, I've said this in a million videos before, I'm not a scientist. These are strictly my own beliefs. These beliefs resonate with me, and hopefully they resonate with you. However, having said that, there are some experiments that have been done to strongly suggest that we and many, or if not everything, is a form of energy. So hear me out. Hopefully it doesn't sound too crazy so far, and I'll get on with it. And just a few things as well. This is not a Holiday Inn that I shoot these videos in. This is my bedroom. It's not fantastic. It's pretty basic. It's got a bed and a cupboard in there. That's about it. Okay, so on to energy. So first of all, I've been seeing many articles lately, whether it's on my Facebook news feed or whether it's on YouTube, about do we absorb other people's energy. Now, from my understanding, again, I could be wrong, but there isn't a quantifiable answer for this. However, it's something that you more feel, I guess, rather than can prove at this point. So I strongly believe we do. I've had my own experiences where I have... So for anyone that's previously seen any of my videos, they may have heard me talk about this comment before, or this story before. So this isn't a Mandela effect if you have heard this before. So I've walked into my bedroom and I could feel that someone had been in there. This was when I lived back with my mum. And it was as if I could feel that another male presence had been in there, and there had. And this had happened. This is sort of thing has happened many a time. With spirits as well. I've encountered ghosts several times before, but that again will be for another video if you're interested. So that's just to put a premise as to how I initially got into believing what we are and who we are. So in a nutshell, I believe that we are infinite energy. This aesthetic appearance that you see of me talking to you, Michael, Perpetual motion, this is effectively a rental vehicle for my time here on Earth, for me to have lessons to learn along the way. So, going to experiments. There is an article. Now, this is very strange because this article I saw the other day, because I just decided to do this video because I thought I've never seen a video where it has all of these experiments put in the one video, i.e. putting a link between the experiments and their relevance to this topic. So I decided to search something that I'd seen years ago, and this article was only written on the 2nd of January this year. So I'll try and find the article again, and I'll post any articles that are of information or of use to this video in the description box. So it was with regard to grapes in a vineyard. Now, as I say, I heard about this article 3-5 years ago, and yet this has just been written on January the 2nd. So whether they've just got the memo, I don't know. I'm not going to say that's a Mandela effect, but you know. So grapes in a vineyard grow towards... So there's this Italian vineyard. The vineyard farmer, I guess, is what you'd call him. He is growing grapes in the vineyard for wine. For anyone that didn't know what a vineyard was. So he puts speakers in the vineyard playing Mozart music. Now, the grapes that grow toward the speaker, towards the vibration of the sound, so the vibrational frequency energy that's coming out of the speakers, are juicier and fuller grapes, and they literally grow toward and up the speakers. Now, I always had this story in the back of my mind because I always found that extremely interesting because, again, for those of you that don't know, I'm a singer and a songwriter, so I understand the importance of sound, of frequencies to a certain degree. So that's the grape story there. I'm going to try and rattle through these pretty quick, so I don't want this to be a really long video, because sometimes I can just talk and talk and talk. Okay, so this is about frequency and energy. So you got the grapes in the vineyard growing towards the speaker. They get juicier and fuller because of the sound waves that are coming out of the speakers playing Mozart music. There's a rice experiment as well. So most people would look at grains of rice and just think, well, it's a grain of rice. What? So what? You eat it, you cook it, that's it. So there's an experiment. You get 2 equal amounts of rice in identical pots, put them in the same location. One of the pots of rice, you hurl abuse towards it with negative words, with derogatory terms, basically all swear words or negative sentences you would say towards one pot of the rice. The other pot of rice, you say loving words towards, and positive words. Now, what this shows is that, again, given that they're identical pots of rice, identical quantities in them, the one that you say the negative words to decays a heck of a lot quicker than the one that you say positive things to. Again, this will all make sense in a minute why I'm using words now. So words are a form of energy as well, a form of frequency. If you think a word, a sound, a song, a musical note, they're all an energetic movement that are being put out. With that being said, going on to words. So spelling of words and actual words in general. So even if you're not bilingual or multilingual, you go into another country, if someone's hurling abuse towards you, you can tell that sometimes by the actual sound of the word, if it sounds abusive, but more so the way they say it. So even if you didn't necessarily see them, you would be able to hear the venom in the way that they are projecting the words. And the key is to what I've just said there as well. Spelling. A spell. Words are literally spells. Words are magic. So for anyone that's ever read something like, I don't know, The Secret or some other kind of self-help book, you'll realize the importance of words. Now, this is something that I'm very interested in. And this is a subject that I'm trying to find out a lot more information on, but it's not overly accessible, to say the least. So if you think about this, a spell, a witch does a spell in like folklore, in Disney films and whatnot. We are effectively doing spells with our words. What we say, we literally conjure, and I'm using the correct word there, we actually conjure a reality. So when you go to these self-help classes and whatnot, and you're doing affirmations with I am, so I am wonderful, I am great, I am going to be successful, you're almost putting a positive mindset by the words that you're saying. Whereas if you start saying things like, I am not going to do this, I am not going to do that, you're going to be having a focus on what you shouldn't be doing. Whereas you shouldn't even have that in your mind at all. It should be completely, I am going to do this. Forget about anything negative. Hopefully I'm explaining this well. This is a video, I actually shot this whole video the other day, but it wasn't on the camera. It was on something called ScreenFlow, so you could only see internet images and whatnot, so it wasn't very dynamic, I guess. So yeah, the power of words. Now this is something that people, I think, will find very interesting. If you look into this, again, if anyone finds any videos, any text to do with words, the power of words and the spelling of words, I would find that very interesting if you could link me that below. What else have I got here? So 432 hertz. Okay, so I've put out a previous video about this, which I thought that many people would know what 432 hertz were, but to my surprise, it wasn't the case. So this is why I make videos like this, because I hope that anything I say, I can only give breadcrumbs sometimes, but hopefully it will inspire someone to look into a particular subject. So if you go on YouTube, type in 432HZ, so that's the abbreviation for hertz, music, and see what comes up. It's a lot of relaxing meditation type music, or it could be used for concentration, but it's tuned to a certain frequency. You'll often see words like DNA healing, chakra cleansing, things like that associated with 432 hertz. Now, with 432 hertz, apparently this was the standard of tuning prior to the Nazi regime. Again, this is a theory. So apparently Hitler changed it from 432 hertz to whatever the standard tuning is now when you are listening to a TV, when you're listening to the radio, because 432 hertz, also known as the God note, is meant to resonate with our DNA. Now, I've been listening to this 432 hertz stuff, for quite a while now, and it does some weird things to you. Literally, it will bring a tear to your eye. It will make you feel different emotions. Very, very special stuff. So why would they change it? Why would they change it from 432 hertz, which apparently nature is at 432 hertz? If you're in the bushes and you can hear birds singing, apparently they're meant to be tuned to 432 hertz. So anything natural is at 432 hertz. Again, I don't have a tool to measure this. I'm just going by what I read and what resonates with me and what makes sense. So hopefully I'm portraying that in this video. So with the 432 hertz, it is apparently just not meant to resonate with our DNA. So I can't really talk too much about this one, but just listen, check it out for yourselves on YouTube. Give it maybe a couple of hours, just play it in the background. 432 hertz music, because I'm going to try and get through all of these topics. So there's also a water crystal experiment. Again, people might say, oh, well, it's water. Water doesn't have energy or whatnot. So water was being frozen, and it had different frequency of music played to it, like heavy metal. It had like Mozart, different types of frequency, and it would have more symmetrical shapes when it was nicer music, I guess, and then you'd see it frozen into beautiful shapes. Again, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but YouTube that water crystals or water consciousness or something along those lines, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, last but not least, media, the news, newspapers, television shows. It's always, well, not always, but since I woke up, I guess, I hate that term, but yeah, until I started seeing things differently, I realised how the news. So I'm from London, for those of you that couldn't tell with the accent. They give away free newspapers, Evening Standard and the London Metro. They're free because I'm assuming they're paid for by advertising, much like how the videos on YouTube can get to people for free. Now you just open it up. First page, someone's been stabbed. Someone has been cheated. Oh, the price of this is going up. The house prices in London, you won't even get a house for under 300 grand now. So there's always, I can actually feel what this does to my DNA, literally. So even yesterday, I'm at the age where I would like to start considering buying a house if ever I can get the money. And I wouldn't be able to do it in London. So even yesterday when I read this article, I'm thinking, oh God, I'm going to have to leave London. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do that. And it kind of put me in a state of panic, even though it's something that I wouldn't say necessarily immediately affects me. But I was able to analyse what this was even doing to me. And I was just thinking, that's just one article. That's the front page of one newspaper. You open the second page, something else has happened. When have you ever opened a newspaper and said, oh, today's going to be a magical day, you're going to have good luck, you're going to enjoy everything, nothing's happened, move on, guys? You never see that. There's always a terrorist attack, something here, something there. And you can tell how much this affects people because, I guess rightfully or wrongfully so, it's in everyday conversations. Oh, did you see what happened in Paris? Did you see what happened in Brussels? Again, it keeps you in that perpetual state of fear, which is like a lower energy. Another thing, if you've ever been around someone that's telling you and constantly talking about negative things, you walk away and you feel absolutely drained. Sometimes when I'm around certain people, if they are talking about certain subjects, I literally come away like I've been with an energy vampire. This is what these type of people are called, where they don't realise that they are draining someone's energy, but inadvertently, because they're always talking negative, you walk away and you feel absolutely exhausted. Now, the reason why I've made this video is because I'm hoping that one of these subjects, I guess, gets someone interested into looking into it for themselves. I don't have all the answers. I can't tell you indefinitely that my beliefs are the correct beliefs. Who's to say that every single belief isn't the correct belief? I don't know. But I do see a correlation with everything that I've said here is all energy based. Energy and frequency. And if you look at Nikola Tesla, he had one of his famous sayings was something along the lines of that we need to think very differently and that we need to think in terms of energy and frequency. Now, I think that his findings are becoming more and more relevant now that people's mindset is changing. You've only got to look at sort of the Mandela effect, for example, how many people are now have literally had their world turned upside down for whatever reason, whether it's an effect that's affected them personally or their viewpoint has changed, their perspective of life, of what's possible. I don't know, but all these bits that I've mentioned, hopefully, so you got the grapes growing towards the speaker in the Italian vineyard. You could Google that. You've got the water crystal experiment or water consciousness experiment. You've got the 432 hertz music. Again, all of these things are very, very easy to look into. You've got the rice experiment. I'm pretty sure if you just even type that in on YouTube, rice experiment, type in can we absorb people's energy. The one that is a bit harder that I'm not having so much luck finding about is spelling and the power of words. Talking about that as well. So I have a sales background, so I'm used to talking to people. Now, there was a course that I touched upon very briefly called NLP, so Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And again, going back to the power of words, in a very, very small nutshell, it would be how words would elicit responses effectively. So if I was saying something, putting someone in a certain mindset by saying, "Oh, does it make you happy being on a beach? Do you love your children?" Yes. So if they keep saying yes, and then I say, "Oh, do you want to buy this product?" Or in a closed way, we're gonna sort this product out for you, or whatever you say, they're more inclined to say yes because they've been saying yes before. So not only does that prove that words have power, I mean, it also proves that we are kind of biological computers to a certain degree. But again, that's another subject. Hopefully everything I've said has made sense somewhat. Clearing up a few things. Yep, this is not a Holiday Inn, this is my bedroom. I can't think of any sort of silly other comments that have come up on any of my videos that I need to address right now. But thank you guys for anyone that have subscribed or watched any of my videos. Or, I mean, as I say, hopefully this helps someone out there, or that maybe someone has the same beliefs as me. Maybe I'm crazy. Who knows? Who knows? But thanks a lot for your time, guys. That's all from me. Cheers. Bye.